Hey, we're back! This time for real. September 2nd, 2025. We're doing it. I don't know why my mic always does it. I have to jump through a bunch of hoops to get stuff to go. Bro despawned. He did. Okay. Surrender animation. God, there's so much stuff. Let's go through it. First of all, I've been, if you don't know that we did an update for I gotta fix this graphic. Okay, original CastleMiner 1.99. I've been doing a bunch of updates for that. It should run pretty stable now. Somebody asked how I'm doing. That's really good. Thank you. Thanks so much for, so much for that. I'm doing good. Update 199 for CastleMiner. There's a bunch of fixes out there. If you want to play something while you're waiting for CastleMiner Z Resurrection, it's a good thing to pick. Really fast, we're going to go to the web. If you go to the website, CastleMinerZ.com, I'm going to make sure I throw them. Crack a Coke. I've been waiting to do that, so I'm going to do it. You go to the website, CastleMinerZ.com, wishlist the game. Please wishlist the game. You're doing a great job. We're at 52,000 wish lists. We want to get to 100,000 before we release the game. So wishlist the game. Go to CastleMinerZ.com and tell your friends to do that too. Somebody says, yeah, we're going to release a future 2.0. We are. CastleMiner Z Resurrection is the 2.0. Cool. If you would like, you could support us on Patreon. Also, there's a link here for our Kickstarter. If you click our Kickstarter and say, notify me on launch, I think this is actually going to happen pretty soon. Now that the networking is working, and it's working faster than we thought it would. I actually thought it would take about 3 months of getting the networking hammered out, but it worked almost perfectly right out of the gate. I think that it's like, to me, it's like we shaved a couple months off the schedule. So the Kickstarter may run sooner than later. So follow the Kickstarter if you can. Let me make sure I got this link on the pin to the streams. And while I'm in here, let me make sure that I'm paying attention to the TikTok people. And if you're coming here from TikTok, hello. I'm seeing that I'm muted here. I'm hoping those are old comments. Yes. So the big thing this week was networking. If you didn't watch the live streams, these were actually the first time we saw the networking working was live with the same thing as you. We did 3 network tests. The first one was just me and John. There was 2 of us. Then Duncan joined in the second one. We had 3 people. You tend to get more problems as you add more people on. And then today we had 5 people on, and we ran into a couple small problems, but overall it worked really, really good. So it's super exciting. Is that what it means is that we are very, very close to a playable demo, and we are in a state now where I can do the Xbox applications. So that's one of the things that are going to happen here in the next couple of weeks is we're going to try to get, I'm trying to think of the official term that they have, is concept approval for the Xbox. So that if we get concept approval, that means Xbox is okay with having our game on the Xbox. And, then we go forward from there. Will you be able to invite friends through Steam? Yes, absolutely. Cool. And do we have a release date in mind? I'm trying to get this done by the end of the year. I'm trying really hard. Everybody always asks about a date. I wish I knew a date too, but it's ultimately making games is an artistic endeavor, and you have to balance out what's practical against what's beautiful. And beauty takes time. Do you think you'll have a hard time completing the dragon and also new mobs? No, I think that the enemies are actually one of the easier parts of the game. So the hardest part right now is, believe it or not, the player mechanics, like getting the guns and stuff to feel right. Everything's in stand-in right now. So getting the weapons to, aim and shoot and look down scopes and everything is probably one of the harder things to solve right now. What you tend to do in game development is you tend to solve all the hard problems first. So you find out what are the hard things that you're going to have a hard time or might not even be possible, and you solve those first. Because once you have those, the rest of them you can solve, and it's just work. But you don't want to do all the work and get to a place where you have an unsolvable problem that's stopping you. So you solve the hard problems first and you move out. Doing the opposite, we call that painting ourselves in a corner. That's an expression that we use a lot. Somebody asked here, what beer do I drink? I actually don't drink. I never have. I feel like it's definitely a life hack to not drink. Save yourself a lot of problems. Is there going to be mod support? Every time this gets asked, I put it back to you on what exactly would you like for mod support. We would like to support the mod community, but we don't want to just put things in and guess. I was talking to the mod community last night, and I should do a really quick plug for them because they run a Discord channel that is amazing, and they've done it for years, and it's not our Discord channel, it's theirs. And they have some really, really great mods for the game. I'm just going to copy this and throw this in the stream. And I was last night looking at some of the mods that they had, and it was really impressive. There's a guy over there called Sky Happy that made a CastleMiner Z extended mod. This is for the first game, and it's totally worth checking out. It's got some amazing stuff in it. Any plans to mount dragons like saddles, horses? That sounds fun. That would be cool. I don't know that I can say that I have plans to do it. A lot of people here, we get a lot of new people on TikTok asking a lot of questions that we get here, but I guess I'm going to run down them. Is that the game is going to launch first on Steam, and then hopefully make its way to Xbox if they let us. Character customization, we're probably going to deal with after launch. Somebody's saying here to keep the duplication glitch. The duplication glitch has actually been patched in the other game too, so it's a thing of the past. The next thing I want to get to, well, let's look at the game before we go any further. And I'm actually going to launch the game right from Steam because we have the ability to do that now. And I'm hoping I don't get into any trouble doing that. Somebody's saying here are we going to support technologies like I think DLLS. I think you're talking about DLSS. We have DLSS in the game currently right now. Okay. Let me just start a single player. I've actually never played a single player game out of the Steam. So this is cool. This is right out of Steam. Played the game, which is cool. The game is running on Steam right now. And I don't know if all my debug keys work. It's actually, oh no, I do. I can still fly. Do I still have bookmarks? I do. Cool. This is like one of my big underground caves. So a lot of progress. I mean, we're really close to having all the pieces there to have a playable demo, something that people can play. One of the things we've talked about doing is giving a very early demo to the supporters on top tier supporters on Patreon. And I got this set up. I can change the weather, a little snow. This is cool. We are doing really great here. Oh. So one of the things that we worked on last week was the Archer, which is almost done. I think I'm going to do one more stream finishing him up, but he turned out really good. We put the flaming arrows on him. I thought it was a nice touch. And he actually lights these as they draw now. They light as he pulls them out of his quiver, which is cool. He's not going to let me get close to him. If you checked out the trailer, he's my new favorite guy. And I can just change it to night. And they look cool at night. They're lit up. One of the things I want to do is put the flicker torch effect on his light, just like the torches. The torch has this special flickery light that we did in one of the streams. And I think it'd be a nice touch to put it on his thing as well. We could make a bunch of these guys. So it's coming along. In fact, let's change the weather to fog. Here we go. And if you haven't checked already, we opened up with our new trailer. That was another thing that happened last week. We released our new trailer that featured the dragon in it, which was pretty cool. The only problem is I can't. If I could, yeah. Tab away from it. So let me catch up. Oh, thank you for the donation. Thank you so much. You should add a jetpack. We're talking about adding a jetpack. It's funny, if you went to one, if you were watching the network streams, we talked specifically about making a jetpack during one of those. That's one of the interesting things that happens when you start to test your own game, is that you start to get, if you start playing it together with developers, you start to get ideas for new features as you're playing it. It's one of the reasons why having the multiplayer in early is valuable. Let's if it does well, will you be offering this to console players? We've kind of talked about that. The consoles have to let us be on there. We would love to do that. Make it so they shoot faster. It's cool that everybody's got opinions about this loot boxes. Let me make sure I'm watching TikToks. Are you using a nanite for voxel rendering? I actually don't think nanite is running on the voxels right now. Are you going to keep the avatar skins from the 360 days? No, unfortunately, avatars aren't a thing anymore. Can we add split screen co-op? No. The hardware is barely able to run the game as it is, and essentially split screen co-op is running two games at the same time. So that we've had that a big request over years and years and years, and like it just isn't something that's possible with this type of game. Any plans to expand the world generation limit past 20,000 blocks without walking through blocks? This is a really interesting question. We were talking about this. I was talking about this with the mod community last night. Is that this had to do with floating point precision on the old engine, and we don't have that constraint anymore. I've been out to 2 million blocks without any problem in this game. So the world, as a result, is way, way bigger. And the way that the world is organized now, there's towers like everywhere in the world. So there's actually like an infinite amount of towers, and they all look a little bit different when you get to them. So I want to do more with that. But no, you're not going to have issues walking through blocks anymore. If it comes to console, do you have a guesstimate about when would you guesstimate that it would happen? So somebody's asking about when it would come to console. So I've explained this in the other streams. When we shipped CastleMiner Z in the beginning, oops. So when we shipped CastleMiner Z in the beginning, in that world, the Xbox had no curation. That means you could put anything you wanted onto the Xbox, and Steam was heavily curated. So what we did is we came to the free platform first with the hope that we could work our way to the other platform. It was a difficult thing. Steam turned us down 3 times. But in this world, everything is flipped around. So Steam, you can put up games very easily. You can update them very easily. In fact, they were joking with me last week in the mod world. I was doing an update for the original CastleMiner game like every night. I would fix bugs every night and do an update. But Steam lets you do that really easily. It's more difficult now with the Xbox. The Xbox has to give you permission to get out. So everything's flipped around. So we're doing everything in the flipped around way. So we're going to come out to Steam first, and if the game is received well on Steam, then we will have the ability to go to Xbox and put it there. So there's a bunch of hurdles that we can run into in doing that. First of all, the Xbox could say no to us. They could say we don't want you to be on the Xbox. That's a feasible thing that can happen. If the game is really, really poorly received on Steam, it's probably unlikely that we'll do an Xbox version then, because we just won't be able to. So the success of the game on Steam really is what is going to help it come to Xbox. So I know this seems to be frustrating for console players, because they want it to come on their thing first, and I understand it's like what happened years ago. So like, why doesn't it work like that? But the world is actually the opposite of what it was years ago. And somebody's saying PlayStation. PlayStation's the same thing. I'm a registered PlayStation developer, but I have not shipped anything on the PlayStation yet. Let me clear skies. These guys look cool in the rain because their clothes move with the wind. So anyways, that's what we're doing. Somebody says, Steam says Q4, but do you have a closer idea to when you'll be releasing? And no, I absolutely do not. People are asking when it comes out, and what we have, our best guess is Q4 of this year, so like the end of this year. Okay. Let's fly around here a little bit, and then what we'll do is we'll go and look at some of the user creations that have been submitted this week. People are new here, so I guess I should pop up some zombies on the ground just to... This is our new zombie. It's supposed to remind you of the old zombie. I think we did a pretty good job of that. A lot of the weapon animations are particularly screwed up right now, so... Did I work on Avatar Warfare? Yes, I made Avatar Warfare. If you played Xbox Live Indie games, I probably made most of the ones that you played. I made Avatar Paintball, Avatar Warfare, Avatar Laser Wars. Laser Wars seems to be the one that everybody wants to bring back. So we've talked about doing a reboot of Avatar Laser Wars. And then, of course, the CastleMiner games, CastleMiner Warfare. Trying to think of what else I made. There was a bunch of... I made 16 games over there. Most of them were best-selling games. So if you played... I did not make Xenominer. That was somebody else. So, but if you played Xbox Live Indie games, you probably played several of my games over there. You made my childhood. Thank you so much. This is the reason why we make games, is ultimately to make people happy. So that's what the love is about, and that's what we do. Okay, there's a lot of really great questions here. I want to make sure I get through all these. I'm trying to do this without my glasses today. I want to see if... I don't normally wear glasses only in front of the computer, but I realize that there's this image of me now wearing glasses everywhere. Somebody's asking for a makeup tutorial. I don't wear any makeup. I'm assuming that's a joke. Somebody says go to the gym and be healthy. I'm all a big advocate about the gym. Like if you visit my Instagram, you'll see all my my gym selfies over there. Will there be ragdolling? Yes, we have not put that in yet. Is there going to be an end goal of the game? We're still designing it, so there'll be something. How far out does the map go out before procedural generation starts to do unexplained stuff? I haven't seen it do anything unexplained. I know Lantern Land was a big thing in the other game. We put something out there deliberately to honor Lantern Land, but Lantern Land happened at like 40,000 blocks. I've been out past 2 million blocks, way further than anybody could actually ever realistically walk. I actually did the math on that, and it was something like 3 times the distance of from New York to California or something like that. So it doesn't do any weird things. I mean, part of that is because we're using Unreal Engine, and Unreal Engine is a full 64-bit engine, so we don't have that problem. Will there be crossplay? I don't know. What's the difference and the biggest between this and the OG one? First of all, it's not obvious yet because there really isn't a game here yet. It's we just have sort of like the core pieces in place. It's been a kind of a challenging thing because we have to make sure that we honor the original game. Like, you should be able to play this game and know that it's sort of like a remake of the original game, and it reminds you of that thing, that it's not just a new thing. But it also has to be new. So we have to, come up with things that would make people want to play it again. Like, I wouldn't play a remake myself, like it's just a pure remake of something, unless there was something new there. So there's got to be something exciting and new to it. Are you still accepting Magic of Voxel stuff from the community? Yes, we are. In fact, I'm going to get to that. We have an in-browser tool that you can use now to do that. Will the game have a new soundtrack or use the old music and soundtrack from the original? There'll be a mixture of both. What's the percentage wish list turns into sales? I don't know. I hope that number is like 100%. But I don't know. I've never had a game where we got a significant amount of wish lists before. I don't think that was a thing when we had launched our other games on Steam. Are we wanting to add more varied points of interest? Yes, the points of interest are a big thing in the game. This is why we're asking for user-created things from the community. Will we see voxel creations today? Yes, I will. People are talking about the price of the game. We are thinking about $20. We've asked the community a lot what they're willing to pay for the game, and that's kind of the number that we got out of that. This game is going to be optimized, right? Like UE. I don't understand why UE5 has such a bad reputation. To me, Unity seemed to be, I mean, it's really the only two choices you have nowadays is like Unity and Unreal, and out of the two, like Unity is a much slower engine. And you can kind of feel it when you play Unity games, is that they're kind of clunky. So I'm surprised that, we picked UE5 because we could do everything in C++ and make it very efficient. So I don't understand why there's this idea that UE5 games are inherently slow. Like, we haven't experienced that at all. In fact, the opposite. Somebody's saying here we should reboot our other games. Laser Wars. I'd love to do a Laser Wars reboot. This is great. There's a lot of people on the stream today. Do I work alone on the game? No, there's 4 of us, and we're all very old, experienced game developers. AAA, from the AAA industry, everybody's been in the industry since like the 90s, and they've all done really impressive things. One of the people in the game was the original designer of Half-Life. I know that like our art director worked on the Fear games. John worked on Counter-Strike. So most of them have worked on AAA games that you've played before, and so have I, but I haven't worked in the AAA industry for a really long time. Somebody's saying they gave us the $20 Patreon subscription. I appreciate that. We will be able to loot your friends. Yeah, of course, you're always able to loot your friends. Has Mojang reached out? Mojang is Microsoft now, so nobody's reaching out to us. Linux support, probably, yeah. I think we did, when we made Savage Lands, we put in Linux support. It was no big deal. So I think there probably will be Linux support. Are we bringing back the aliens in the, yeah, they're in there, or well, the aliens aren't, but the creators are in there. Will there be any new bosses? Yes, most likely. Did I consider putting in VR? Yeah, I would love to do a VR version of the game. That would be great. Are we planning any additional? I love. There's so many good questions on this stream. It's great. Are you guys planning any new modes? Yes, that is something that we are thinking about. Don't have any solid plans yet, though. To make sure I'm grabbing the TikTok comments here too. Tell me they're dragons, right? You should go watch the latest trailer. You'll see a preview of the dragons. Is this a side project or our full-time gig? All of us are working full-time on this, and we are unfunded. So we appreciate any donations that you can give us. I'm going to take a little break here and just do a quick plug for our stuff here. If you go to CastleMinerZ.com, the most important thing that you can do for us right now is to wishlist the game. Click Steam wishlist, and then add to your wish list. Most importantly, you can also see the trailer here with the dragons if you want. If you want to support us on top of that, you can support us on Patreon or sign up for our Kickstarter. We haven't launched yet. We are unfunded, and there's 4 of us working on this full time. So we would appreciate anything you do. But as a minimum, wishlisting doesn't cost anything. So go to Steam, wishlist the game that tells the world and us how interested you are. Will Tom Hardy be me as a skin? Yeah, that's like pretty much what's going on already, right? I'm having a really hard time keeping the window up. Okay. I wonder if I could use the Unreal controls to pop out of the window. Let's go back to sunset. There we go. And let's fly out to the desert a little bit. The puddles that are left by the rain that are drying up. This is the, if you're new to this, this is the new lagoon. The lagoon should have always had water in it. It's kind of reminiscent of the original CastleMiner game. And we brought that back. All the biomes are much bigger than before. But the networking this week was a big surprise. Like I had really considered that this would probably take another 3 months to get the networking running, but it runs great. I've bought eight copies of the game across Xbox and Steam. Thank you so much. Appreciate the support. Oh, we still have these castles out here. This is funny. This is one of the user creations that has been burned into the game. I have to swap this out. I did it for a stream, and it's ended up in every place in the desert now. And there's some pyramids here. Oh, thank you so much for the donation. I was on the I was looking at the other chat here and I missed it, but Larry Short Rodriguez, thank you. Appreciate the hard work. Thank you very much. Appreciate the donation. Really helps us out. I think the donations here, everything goes right to the game. Oh, one of the things I should say really quick. I'm wearing a CastleMiner shirt. You can too if you click the merch tab on our website. Go to CastleMinerZ.com, and I'm trying to bring back some of the Z stuff here. Here's the shirt I'm wearing. I think I wear it better than this guy, but hey, it's just me. It's funny that one doesn't show up. There's a CastleMiner mug that doesn't show up. Gotta recommend the sweatshirts. Sweatshirts are really high quality. When it gets a little cooler here, I'll start wearing the sweatshirts. But all the proceeds for the merchandise go to the game. So if you want to support the game, it's like a triple support. Like we get the money for the merchandise, and you wear around a shirt that advertises it, and then you're just a great supporter on top of that. So let me back to some questions here. Can we turn off motion blur? We don't have any motion blur on in the game right now, so I don't know what you're seeing over there. Will there be more weapon and tool tiers? Probably, most likely, yes. Somebody's saying here, somebody who owns the original game on Steam is going to convince me to buy CastleMiner Z besides this. This is an interesting. I think it's a fair question to ask. We've made the whole game on our streams live. So if you go through our shorts or our other streams, you can see all the stuff that is in there that it wasn't in the original CastleMiner game. The other thing too is we would like to continue to update the game and bring in user-generated suggestions, and we can't do that on our old engine. So the whole point of doing this is to sort of usher in a new era of CastleMiner. So, people, the whole game is being rebuilt. So people say, I've heard different comments about it being a port or whatever. It's not really a port because there's no pathway between the XNA game and the Unreal game. Like, everything is being rebuilt from the ground up, but a big part of that is so that we have a platform that we can continue to add things to, and that we can do this over multiple platforms. So we could make something, and it can, when we do updates, it can be on the PC, Xbox, PlayStation. I don't know. There's a lot of new stuff in there already. The game isn't done, but if a complete remake of the game you made isn't enough reason to play it, then maybe you shouldn't. Somebody's saying an Avatar Warfare remaster. I think that's an interesting prospect. I think a Laser Wars remaster is probably more likely. I think it'd be. I already could imagine a Laser Wars remaster. Let's. A lot of people are asking about Steam Workshop, and I think I still need to know. I guess I should understand Steam Workshop better, but I still need to know what you're building for the game. Speaking of which, let's move over to the voxel creations. So we have been putting out on our Discord channel, we've been putting out requests for voxel creations, and we have this new cool voxel tool. I'm going to put this in the chat. You can build this stuff. We were using Magic of Voxel before, but you can build this stuff in your browser now. This runs right in here. It's got our materials in it, and you can shift from day to night and see what things look like. And what we have up right now is a Viking house by Sawyer. So I thought this was kind of cool. Looks like we got some oars inside here. Cool. I know that we've added a bunch of new features to this tool yet. He hasn't pushed these out yet, but it's a lot of features similar to Magic of Voxel, where you could extrude things and paint and flood fill paint things and stuff like that. There's a lot of great stuff. That's at CastleMiner Z/VD. You could try this. Still in beta, but it's a great place to do this. I was thinking one of the things that I need, and I'm going to put up a request for this now, is I need a dragon's lair so that dragons can have a place to be when they're underground. I actually close the game here because it's consuming a lot of resources. So that's cool. That is the Viking House by Sawyer. Let me flip over to the next one. Thank you so much for the donation. Somebody has a question about potions. I'm going to look for it up in the stream. Somebody's asking for potions to increase certain stats. That's a reasonable ask. So, yes, let's. Here is a. Oops. Castle Ruins by Harvey. Really nice. I mean, this is cool. There's like a little drawbridge thing that's going on over here. A moat, which could be filled with water. So, super cool. I like how it is already set up to be kind of set into the ground. Let's see how it looks at night. Oh, there's some lanterns in here too for lighting. And there's some that are inset inside, which are really, really cool. Let's see if we can get close here and take a look at them. I see we've used the pine bark inside. Really cool. That is the Castle Ruins by Harvey. And let me make sure I'm getting the TikTok comments. Somebody's asking here, Resurrection isn't a remaster, but rather a 2.0, right? Basically, I would say it's somewhere in between. I mean, there's definitely new things, but we're trying to make sure that it still reminds you of playing the old game. Somebody's asking, am I a dev on the new game or something? I'm a dev on the old game and a dev on the new game. I am the person that made, my name's Tom Stone, and I made CastleMiner Z. Somebody's saying here that they want to be a game tester, and that's a really good segue into going to where is this? Oh, if you go to our website, you can sign up to be in the beta for the game. So this will give you a chance in playing the game for us early, and if you get chosen for the beta, you get the game for free. So go to our website, CastleMinerZ.com, and sign up for the beta. And while you're there, also wishlist the game. It'd be great if you could do both. Okay. We have, let me load up the last one. So this one, I thought this was really cool, but it didn't show up really good in the tool. And I don't exactly know why. This is the Dragon's Den by Luke Shute. And I'm not sure what this thing is made out of, or maybe it's just the size that it got. But it looked like you can get a really good look at it. I'm kind of excited to see what this looks like. But we wanted a dragon's lair. I'm going to add this to the website, which would be an area that would be underground where the dragons would live. Will there be NPCs similar to Minecraft villagers? I don't know yet. There has typically never been a NPCs in CastleMiner, but it's possible that there is. Oh, it's ice. It's all ice. So this would be like for the ice dragon. Super cool. I mean, it's a cool. Obviously, like a lot of work went into this. So. Excited to see it. It might just be because it's blue and icy. I should try throwing it in the game. Great stuff. Will there be DLCs for the game, like starting with the play? I think that if the game is successful, we'll continue to work on it. If it's not, obviously, it won't be possible, and we'll all have to find boring day jobs. Will there be playtesting? Yes. Click on the beta sign up, and you can be part of the beta for the game. Everybody should go do that. Somebody's saying I'm tired. Last couple streams, people say I'm tired. I've been working late, and then today was my kid's first day of school, so I was up very early. But I've been, I work 7 days a week, and I work late into the night on most nights. So my apologies if I'm tired. Somebody's asking here when do you think the beta will be released? I don't know, but we're closer. We're closer. I actually really thought, I was worried because I thought what would typically, and this was typical for how games come together, is that we would start the networking tests and everything would be completely broken. You wouldn't ever be able to even connect two games together or whatever. And then we would spend several months just getting two people to walk around in the same world. And then we would have to do this again with the mining and whatever. But because John has made this game 3 times already, it came together instantly. And it was weird. If you watched the network streams, I wasn't expecting that. I expected to sort of have everything broken and had to kind of fill time while everything was broken. But the game worked right out of the gate. So because of that, I think we're closer to a demo than we were in the past. Now it becomes a question of is the demo interesting enough for people to play? Somebody asked if I'm a British developer. No, I live in Seattle, and I have 2 daughters. Where's John? Does he still work on the game? Yes, John has been on. We were on a stream with him earlier today. John is instrumental. These guys don't like to be on the streams, but they're all working really hard doing this. Somebody's asking what the popularity of the remake is. I don't really have a good way to judge that. This is one of the reasons we want you to Steam wishlist the game, so we can tell how popular the game is going to be, and it lets us understand how much sort of time, effort, and money we can put into it. It also lets publishers know how popular we are, so that we could possibly get a publishing deal if we needed it. So go Steam wishlist the game. But up to now, I think we just crossed over 52,000 wishlists. So in my mind, that's really good. The number we had talked about internally was 100,000 by the time we shipped. So we're over halfway there. So I think that is a super reasonable goal. And essentially, you guys got to do this for us. You have to go and, post stuff, repost stuff, post our trailer, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. You have to do this for us. We can only do so much. Okay, let me make sure. Somebody's asking where the pre-release is going to be. The pre-release is definitely going to be on Steam. It's one of the only platforms that you could really do that on. Okay. When does the beta get released? Yeah, we just kind of covered that. Cool. So let's pop around in the game a little bit more, and then I'm probably going to get going so I can get some more work done. I'd like to say rest because everybody says I'm tired, but up. Here we go. It'd be fun is to go into this castle here and spawn some enemies. Let's do that. We were on a stream earlier today. Everybody was throwing dynamite in a hole. It was fun. Everybody seems to like the dynamite effect. We're right down here into an underground tomb. Let's see what dynamite in the tombs do. It's nice that I can't be killed. If you caught us earlier today, we were all just sitting around throwing dynamite in a hole. If you followed some of the streams, it was cool. We put together all these effects together for this. All the hot rocks and everything. Let me make sure. A lot of discussion about the price of the game. Somebody would say they paid $45. They would pay $45. I think it's going to be $20. Okay, let me make sure I'm getting the TikTok comments here. Wish listed on Steam. Very important. Go wish list the game. So thank you so much for doing that. Go to CastleMinerZ.com and wish list the game. Saw you shoot the pistol and the AK. Are those the final gun sound? Nothing is final right now. So the models aren't final. The anime, they're like literally nothing is final. Everything is stand-in. The models aren't final, the animation definitely isn't final, and the sounds are not final. We just have a bunch of temporary stuff in there to show you. It's funny that people at the same time will ask to like play the demo right now. Like, when are you going to release it? When are you going to release it? But then at the same time complain that nothing looks good. And it's hilarious to me because you're literally asking for two incompatible things at the same time. Is that like give us the game as fast as possible, but also like replace everything that's in there. Yeah, the whole idea is that this has to come together over time. Somebody's asking me if I made the first game. Yes, my name is Thomas Stone, and I'm Digital DNA, and I did make CastleMiner Z. Yes, plus a bunch of other Xbox Live indie games like Avatar Warfare, Avatar Paintball. God, I'm trying to think of all the different ones. Voice Changer 360. That was one of the ones that I made. Avatar Warfare, Avatar Laser Wars. Yeah. So that is me. Let's fly around a little bit more. These are some of the tombs. These are cool. These tombs here are, I should walk around in them so I don't outpace the world builder. But the tombs are procedurally generated, and they go on forever. They're kind of like the back rooms. I'm watching myself play on the stream monitor here, which is not working out for me. Explosions are pretty cool. We also have we could do some spelunking here. We have a wow, there's a deep cave. World is way deeper than it used to be before. I think it's 2 or 4 times deeper than it was, and the caves are a lot more complicated. We did a lot of streams on building the caves out. Let's put a torch down here. Oh, that's scary. Let's throw some more glow sticks. There's a nice little fissure. This is kind of what I had in mind originally with CastleMiner, this idea that there was, I don't want to fall down to anything here, that there was, you know, you were exploring the depths of the caves. We've hit this layer where there's lava that starts appearing. Actually kind of want to run around free in the caves. I don't want to dig my way through. And it looks like we've made it down to hell. Bats in the cave, that's a good idea. Will the multicolored lanterns return from CastleMiner? I had forgotten about that, but yeah, we were talking about multicolored lanterns. That's interesting. Somebody's asking here about weapon customization, like scopes and grips. Yeah, I would love to. I would love to do that. That is definitely something that I would like to do. Let me check the TikTok comments here, and I think we're gonna like start to wrap this up. A grappling hook and climbing rope. That's a really great idea. Love your comments. If you, it's we want to hear and collect all your comments, and the best way that you can do that is to go over to either our Discord or the Steam discussion groups and put them on there, because at least they last longer than the chat here. And again, we're here. Questions about the Xbox. Yes. Hopefully, if we have to be approved for Xbox, is the short story. Okay, it's great. I appreciate everybody dropping by. I'm going to get to work on the game. I may do another stream with the Archers because I wanted to finish that up later this week. But I think what John said in one of the streams is that this is sort of like the airplane about to take off. And I think things are going to start getting added to the game very quickly now at this point that the networking is in. Do I have a team or do I do this alone? No, there's 4 of us working on the game. Appreciate everybody dropping by. I'm going to close out here with the new trailer just to make sure I get content ID on every platform that there is for my own music. And if you stick around for the trailer, because the dragon makes an appearance there if you haven't seen it. But like and subscribe. Wishlist the game. Let me do one more time. I'm going to pull up the website. Go to CastleMiner Z.com. I'm going to drop it in the chat. And go and wishlist the game. Steam wishlist. Wishlist the game. Go do that. Okay, great. Thank you, everybody, for dropping by. It's been another great week. We're going to get back to it. Thank you.